Sports Radio 100.9 The Mint, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that. Hello. And how about them Tigers? Oh, baby. What a win.
Let's go, Tigers!
That was vintage gritty Tigers, guys. That was about as good as it gets. The Tigers have moved on to 6-1 at home in Comerica Park this year. 4 straight games that they've walked away with a win with. Look, we're going to get into one little nitpick I have with A.J. Hinch based on yesterday's lineup that, it ended up working out in the end. I think it would have worked out anyway. We'll get into a little bit of Pistons in the 10 o'clock hour because one famous media guy decided to throw them under the bus. I'm going to tell you 3 reasons that's treason. But let's start here with last night. The Tigers, their offense looked dead in the water. This is what the gritty Tigers used to do. Remember 2 years ago? They go from 2% chance to make the playoffs and somehow, miraculously, with a little bit of magic involved, end up making it into the postseason. That was what I felt last night, that magic. We were reminiscing on it. They played possum for 8 innings. They could not score a run. I was getting ready to do a I can't believe they got shut out again segment. And just when everyone thinks you're dead, you play possum long enough, everyone buys it. Just when everyone thinks you're dead, boom, they strike like a cobra. Zach McKinstry punishes Kansas City's reliever in the 8th inning, Mears, for hanging a slider. Just like that, we got a runner on. Zach McKinstry to second base. That was only the 3rd hit of the day. Offense had been silent up to that point. Then Glaber advances the runner over to third base. Colt Keith. If it wasn't for Colt Keith pinch hits for Matt Vierling. If it wasn't for Bobby Witt Jr., back-to-back Gold Glove winner, best position player in the AL Central, if any other player in baseball was playing shortstop, Colt Keith would have been the hero last night. He missiles a baseball up the middle of the field, and Bobby Witt makes this miraculous diving catch. I didn't believe that he even caught it at first. I had to like see the replay to believe it. It was like, there's no way that didn't hit the ground. There's no way that got in his glove before anything. And sure enough, Bobby Witt Jr. does Bobby Witt Jr. things. If it wasn't for him, Colt Keith would have been the hero. But it's McGonigal who comes to the plate that has a chance to be the game's hero. Yet again, we're in this position where McGonigal can basically give the Tigers a win. Before he even has the chance to do that, Mears, wild pitch. Zach McKinstry, being the great instinctual base runner he is, gets home and ties up the game. Tigers, no RBIs, and somehow have tied this game up in the 8th inning. That's vintage gritty Tigers. Because I remember 2 years ago, we were doing segments basically every day. scratching our heads like, how did they win again? I have no idea what they did, what kind of voodoo magic they're doing in the 8th inning in the dugout, but somehow they find a way to win. This is exactly that. It starts with one hit. You advance the runner on a ground ball. I guess it ends like a fielder's choice out. And then a wild pitch, somehow you strike like a cobra here at the end. That ties the game. McGonigal draws a 5-pitch walk, so he's on first base. And then Dylan Dingler, man. We talk about the new core and how great of a hitter Dylan Dingler's been so far. Delivers in the biggest moment of the game. Just sends a piss missile up the third base line. It's a 93-mile-per-hour pitch that ends up going 106.7 miles per hour off the bat. Just destroys it. Rips it down the third base line. The third baseman had no chance. McGonigal, who has suddenly positioned himself as the fastest player on the team, not just the best hitter, not just the best eye, but now the fastest player on the team with no Parker Meadows here anymore, shows off the wheels, goes from first all the way home off a Dylan Dingler RBI double, and just like that, the Tigers take the game. We've got Joey, this was the 8th inning, so they had to close it out. Joey Cora is doing the windmill, sending McGonigal home. It felt like a gritty, vintage Tigers win. The new core, man, hitting in the 2, 3, and 4 spot in the 8th inning. Colt Keith obviously had to pinch hit, but nonetheless, in the 8th inning, the 2, 3, and 4 spot are Colt Keith, Kevin McGonigal, and Dylan Dingler, all of which played a role in winning the game for the Detroit Tigers. And then we've got Kenley Jansen coming in, closing out the game. Look, Vest Finnegan, it's been a nice duo. It's been fun. They've been good, at times great. To have a true closer out there who every time he takes the mound is making a little bit of history. We knocked this bobblehead off the shelf and put it right here. The Kenley Jansen as a loon catching bobblehead now is the 3rd most saves in the history of Major League Baseball. That right there is fun, to have a true closer like that, to make history every single time that he steps out onto the mound and gets a save. What an incredible win. By far the most fun I've had watching the Tigers so far this season, even though they could not hit the baseball for the better part of 7.5 innings.
I think that's probably why it's so weird that it was fun, because, like you said, the whole time you're planning to do this, oh my gosh, there's no way they lost 1-0 again. Like, what a waste of an awesome Framber Valdez start, by the way.
Yep.
Who just, it seems like he's going to be this guy that is going to go deep into games no matter what all season long. I mean, in his previous outing, he got crushed in the first inning, still went 6. Last night, he goes the distance as well. Like, it was really cool to see that, but it felt like
a guy who knows how to get productive outs.
Yeah, exactly.
One
not gonna
strikeout.
Not going to get strikeouts.
Did you see when he got his first swing and miss pitch? He threw 87 pitches. At what point do you think his first swing and miss pitch was?
I don't even have a good guess.
Pitch 59. He just doesn't generate it, which is maybe concerning down the road, but also that's borderline impressive.
He gets quick at-bats, though, too. You know, like he's not a guy that's going to dilly-dally and have these 10-pitch at-bats left and right. Like, he gets a lot of quick contact, a lot of soft contact, and that's why they brought him in. And that's why he's been so elite as well in the major leagues.
He's the best ground ball pitcher in baseball.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
The past 2 years, 99th percentile. This year, a little bit of a slower start, but last night was the exact reason why you think he's the best ground ball pitcher in baseball. The stats back it up, too. Can I just pat myself on the back a little bit? 2 days after the season started, just kind of going,